And welcome to the Wayne Curry Administration Building this morning to groundbreak for Civic Plaza. So as we gather here today to celebrate groundbreaking, I started thinking about the original stewards of this land, the Piscataway people, and did a little bit of research to see how they gathered, often coming together in open spaces like this to celebrate changing seasons, share food, pass down traditions, and just connect as a community. And in many ways, what we're building here honors that same spirit. A place to gather for Prince Georgians to celebrate milestones, enjoy performances, support local businesses, and simply be together as neighbors. We are honoring the legacy of the original stewards of this land in that way. So today you're going to hear from our acting county executive, Tara Jackson, followed by Senator Angela Also-Brooks, then Michael Franz, executive director of the Maryland Stadium Authority, Peter Shapiro from Maryland National Capital Parks and Planning Commission, Senator Nick Charles, state senator for District 25, State Delegate Jazz Lewis from District 24, and then Councilmember Walla Blagay, representative of Prince George's County District 6. Now, just some quick notes. At the conclusion of the program, we will have a media gaggle. You've got media representatives from the county executive's office to get you situated for that just after the conclusion of the program. So without further ado, Madam County Executive.
Good morning. It is indeed a beautiful day. The sun is shining. It's a little chilly, but I'll take it. So it's good to see everyone here this morning. It is a great honor to stand with you today as we mark a new chapter in the future of Largo. We are here to break ground on the Civic Plaza, a project that shows just how far we've come developing our local economy and with our targeted investments along the Blue Line corridor. This plaza is a world all by itself. And as it comes to life, the vibrant, inclusive, diverse community that makes up Prince George's County will have a space here adjacent to the Wayne K. Curry Administration Building. This new plaza will serve as a dynamic hub for residents and visitors alike, fostering connection, community, and culture in the heart of Largo. Before we go any further, I've got a lot of people to thank, so please bear with me. People that made this project possible, including Governor Moore and the Board of Public Works, Angie Rogers and Jim Chandler and the entire economic development team, our IGA team, led by Joy Russell at the time and John Erzin, Maryland National Capital Park and Planning, and I see Mr. Shapiro here, the Arts and Humanities Council, the Maryland Stadium Authority, and I know that there are several representatives from the Stadium Authority here today, the Mason-Dixon Group, all the members, past and present, of the Prince George's County State Delegation who helped us secure funding for the signature BLC Blue Line Corridor projects. I want to thank District 24 and 25 members who you'll hear from who represent the areas where the Blue Line Corridor is taking shape. Our delegation leadership, Senator Michael Jackson and the House Chair, Nicole Williams. And I want to recognize House Appropriations Chair, Ben Barnes, who's also been a great partner in helping us secure hundreds of millions of dollars in state funding. Allow me just to digress for a moment and give a very special thank you to the entire Prince George's County delegation again for all of your efforts, individual and collective, this session. We are indeed in difficult times. And as such, I recognize that difficult decisions have to be made to shore up our financial stability for not only the state, but the county. decisions that we will not always like or perhaps agree on, but this is what we signed up to do. And I thank you for your hard work and your advocacy, and especially your collaborative spirit. I truly, truly appreciate it. I also want to thank our county council, and I see representatives here today, including our chair from our council, for your partnership and your presence here today, especially our representatives from District 6 and District 7, Councilmember Walla Blagay and Vice Chair Crystal Oriata. And most important, I want to thank the engaged residents of Prince George's County. This project would not have been possible without their partnership and advocacy on behalf of public spaces like these. Through 3 public workshops, residents from all walks of life came together and shared their ideas for this space. Flexibility for large events, inviting spaces for everyday activities, and a design that celebrates rich art and culture for our community. In just a few short months, the Civic Plaza will become a place where families can gather together, businesses can thrive, and our community can come together as one Prince George's County. Now, you should know that this plaza represents the first project in Prince George's County history where we have worked with the Maryland Stadium Authority. And that is thanks to a very special leader who changed the face of this community forever. A woman who grew up in Prince George's County and went on to lead us to success through a difficult pandemic. A woman who just recently won a historic election to the United States Senate. The third person ever to be elected to the Senate from a county executive position. I'm talking about my former boss, your Senator, Angela Alsobrooks. Public spaces like these manifest the vision that she shared with us all. I'm glad she is able to be here with us today to talk more about her vision and how her administration helped make it a reality. I am honored to have had a part in bringing the Civic Plaza to life as well. First as your Chief Administrative Officer, and now as your acting county executive. Over the past 4 months, I'm glad to have helped get us to final planning and design. But I now want to introduce you to the woman whose vision for our county is taking shape project by project, Senator Angela Alsobrooks. Please join me in welcoming her this morning.
Well, good morning, everyone. Good morning. So great to be back here. I want to first say thank you so much to County Executive Tara Jackson for her leadership. She is in all ways what I refer to as a super bad woman. She so deserves that. My friend of over 30 years. Who has served our county so honorably for so long. And so we are so grateful to you for your brilliance and for your steadiness and for your commitment. We thank you. To all of my other friends in elective service, thank you as well for your leadership. Is good to see so many of you all. I am a very proud member of Team Prince George's County. None like Team Prince George's County. And so I want to just say thank you so much to all of my partners who are here today. We have done so much work together. I even see Camille Exum. I mean, it has taken all of us to share the love of our county. And so this is a great day for Prince George's County, but it is also a really great day for the state of Maryland. I am so excited because this particular project is proof positive of what can happen when the county has a vision and actually acts on that vision. And it is so great also to remember how all of this started.
We had a team that saw what this place could become. And in fact, this entire Blue Line Corridor project only happens because we had so many visionaries who worked all along the process. Those visionaries did include County Executive Jackson. It also included another super bad person, our the as Angie Rogers and her team. I want to thank her so much for all that she has done for our county. I see Peter Shapiro. There's so many who've already been acknowledged. One of the things I wanted to remind us of again is how we came here. Dogged determination got us here this morning. It was the case that when this project became an idea for all of us, we needed some funding. And you heard County Executive Jackson talk about the fact that Prince George's County, and in so many ways, it's a little bit disgraceful that we had never had a project that was funded through the Maryland Stadium Authority. And Senator Charles knows what I'm talking about, this time period where we looked around the state and recognized that almost everyone had benefited from projects through the Maryland Stadium Authority except Prince George's County. And so at the time, it was Governor Hogan who was in office, and we were talking about what would happen near the FedEx field. And there was all this discussion about whether or not the Commanders would come or go. And I was talking to Governor Hogan, who said he did not want to invest in the areas around FedEx Field because he really did not like Dan Snyder. Said he was not a nice man and said he wasn't so interested in investing there. And we had a really aggressive conversation where I said to him, why would we leave the people who live in the areas around FedEx Field in a lurch because of whatever we feel about the owner? We have an obligation to invest there and that this would lift the whole state. And so I am so grateful that we were able to get $400 million for the very first time in our county's history through the Maryland Stadium Authority to invest in that area. And this entire team, including all of our legislative team, again, Angie Rogers' team and everyone else, have then thereafter been able to attract over $2 billion worth of investment that will go along the Blue Line corridor. Now, this project will take some time in order to see its full potential. But what we know is that it starts with the first investment. And I think the lesson for all of us in this is that Prince George's County is a sure economic driver, not only for Prince George's County, but that we are so important to the state and to the region. And so goes Prince George's County. The truth is, so goes the rest of the state. And so the $2 billion plus that will be invested along this area is one that will really show tremendous dividends, not just for Prince George's County, but we know for the entire state and for the entire region. And it will continue to grow, again, as a result of the tremendous investment that has been brought here, the belief that we have in our county, the belief that we have in our state. And I should tell you that we're never going to stop working to invest here in our home and to invest also in a way that continues to grow the rest of the state. Now, I know we are in very challenging times. I can tell you I have just come from the Capitol this morning. But we're going to continue working to make sure that we bring the kind of investment that saw the Blue Line corridor, that also saw New Carrollton, where we brought $100 million in just 2 years to invest in the New Carrollton Metro Station. And that came about as a result of a raise grant that came from the federal government. Again, the first time in Prince George's County's history that we had ever gotten a raise grant for a project in Prince George's County. But we're going to continue to make sure that that happens. And some will say, I'm going to say this and take my seat, how will it happen? All of you are watching like I am at a lot of the discord that is happening. We will, through our relationships, make sure that we make investments in infrastructure and transportation and all of the other projects that are not, these are not partisan issues. Transportation and infrastructure is needed everywhere across the country, whether it is in a place like Prince George's County or some other parts of our state or other parts of the country. And so we're going to continue to form the relationships and friendships that will allow all of us to act in the best interests of our states, counties, and our country. And I can assure you that I will always be fighting for Prince George's County. So thank you so much again to all of you, all of our partners, for what you have done. We are still at the beginning. We have so much work yet to do, but we will do tremendously when we continue to work as a team. You've heard me say it over the years, again and again and again, that if you want to go quickly, just go on out there alone. But if we want to go far, we must go together. So together we will go, and we will continue to grow our beautiful county. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Senator. It feels so good to call you that as well. I will say, those of us here in the Wayne K. Curry Administration Building were hoping they would sneak in a budget line item to build us a bridge through the woods there so we could get to Jaspers more quickly. And I wanted to say that as I get ready to bring up the Executive Director of the Maryland Stadium Authority, Michael France.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'm Michael Frenz, Executive Director of the Maryland Stadium Authority. Our Chairman, Craig Thompson, and Governor Moore both send their congratulations on today's groundbreaking for the innovative and inclusive plaza at the Wayne K. Curry Administration Building. There's really no place I would rather be here than here today in Prince George's County. I'm honored to be on the same program with Senator Also Brooks, County Executive Jackson, and Delegate Lewis, who we've interacted with some at the Maryland Stadium Authority. We're here today because of the tireless efforts by county and state leaders, and many of whom are here today. In April 2022, the MSA Board of Directors approved a request by the Prince George's County Executive for us to assist with respect to the feasibility, design, development, and construction of various public assembly facilities in central Prince George's County along the Blue Line corridor. During that year's legislative session, the General Assembly authorized MSA to issue up to $400 million in bonds to finance these facilities in accordance with the Blue Line Corridor Bond Act. When this is completed, the Blue Line Corridor is expected to inspire further economic development, increase tourism, and provide enjoyment, enrichment, education, and business opportunities for Marylanders, all of which aligns with the mission of MSA. We look forward to our continued collaboration with Prince George's County on this game-changing endeavor, as the Civic Plaza at Wayne K. Curry Administration Building is just the beginning of our work together. As always, I'd like to recognize MSA's Board of Directors for their leadership. Joining us today from Prince George's County are Minerva Riddick and Artis Hampshire Cohen. They really provide the kind of leadership that allows us to do the work that we're known for. I understand that Jasmine Clemens from the Board of Public Works is here today. I'd like to recognize her and the work that they do in keeping fiscal responsibility for the state. I'd like to recognize Gary McGuigan and Al Tyler from our MSA's Capital Projects Development Group, who oversee this program for MSA, and Brent Miller and Joshua Wilson, part of the professional group that will oversee this particular project and the Blue Line Corridor projects. I'd like to recognize Don Absher, MSA CFO, who oversees the bond transactions that allow these works to happen. And finally, I want to recognize Jay Vinton Schaefer, who is the construction manager on this project, and they're committed to driving opportunities for diverse and local businesses during construction. We're very pleased to report that Jay Vinton Schaefer has already exceeded the goal set forth for this project of 35% MBE with 35.88% total participation. And they've also exceeded the sub-goals of 8% African American and 11% women-owned businesses with 9.54% and 16.56% respectively. In closing, MSA was established to build, manage, and maintain sports and entertainment facilities in Maryland, most especially the Camden Yards Sports Complex. Our mission has since evolved to include sports marketing, various economic studies, construction projects, and programs, just like this Blue Line Corridor. So we're very pleased with this investment by the state through the MSA, which will ensure that Maryland and especially Prince George's County will remain a top sports and entertainment destination and a vibrant community gathering space for many years to come. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We've heard each speaker talk about the $2.3 billion in investment heading into the county, and I just wanted to tell everyone you can head to strengtheningpgc.com to learn more about all of the Blue Line Corridor projects coming down the pike. We're now welcoming Peter Shapiro from the Maryland National Capital Parks and Planning Commission.
Morning, everybody. On behalf of the Commission, I'm excited to join you today as we celebrate this first groundbreaking, first of many along the Blue Line Corridor, and first of many that are going to help us create this vibrant, walkable, livable downtown Largo. I'm so excited about seeing the first of the implementation steps here. Our work at the Commission is driven by our partnerships, and it's guided by our plan, Prince George's 2035, which is the approved general plan for Prince George's County. The Civic Plaza here at the Wayne K. Curry Administration Building aligns with this unified vision that is outlined in Plan 2035 and the Downtown Largo Sector Plan, as well as the shared vision for Largo's evolution and the future development along the Blue Line Corridor. Just a shout out to all the planners who are involved in this process. It is hard, gritty work to make sure that it is technically possible to do all the things that we want to do, and I really, really appreciate all their efforts. Plan 2035 really does provide a roadmap for making the county a competitive force in the regional economy, a leader in sustainable growth, a community of strong neighborhoods and strong municipalities, and a place where residents are healthy and engaged. And this Civic Plaza pulls all those pieces together. More than anything, what I want to emphasize with you all is the power of placemaking. That's what's going to help drive the redevelopment along the Blue Line Corridor. It's the essential strategy to help us realize this vision. So it's community engagement. We want to test all the different pieces of it here, the creative programming, the arts, the pop-up elements that help transform some of these underutilized spaces. We've had a series of workshops and meetings and events. We just had Love My Largo just the other day. Raise your hand if you were at Love My Largo. Yeah? Okay, good, excellent. That was fun. We had our Downtown Largo Placemaking Festival. We've collaborated with residents and community stakeholders for months around these activities. And we know that it doesn't happen alone. It takes all of us. And the folks who've spoken before me have laid out all the different stakeholders that have been involved in this. And we know this is the village that it takes to create this kind of a success story. So I also want to thank the county executive. It's wonderful to say County Executive Jackson. It's wonderful to say Senator Also Brooks. There's just been so many strong leaders who've made this happen, as well as the county council, who have obviously played a strong leadership role in this effort every step of the way. Our friends in the legislature, all the partnering agencies, the Stadium Authority, and more than anything, the residents who keep us all honest and continue to push and drive these efforts. So we're all different pieces of the puzzle, and we're all working together to continue to frame this vibrant, walkable, transit-oriented downtown, this economic hub for the county. And I want to thank all of you for all of your efforts, and let's continue this work. I especially want to give my final shout out to the Department of Planning again and the Department of Parks and Recreation for all of the activities. We are willing and able partners and will continue to be that way for years to come. So thank you all very much. Appreciate it.
Senator Nick Charles from District 25.
Good morning, everyone. Today is a moment of pride, it's a moment of progress, and a moment of promise for Prince George's County. After years of thoughtful planning and collaboration and persistence, we are now breaking ground on the first signature project of the Blue Line Corridor. Let's give a round of applause for that. The Civic Plaza is more than a development. It is the heart of a broader vision to cultivate dynamic, inclusive spaces to bring people together from local events and small businesses to public art and community celebrations. This plaza will be a place where culture and connection thrive right here in the heart of Largo. But make no mistake, this is only the beginning. The Blue Line Corridor is our bold commitment to revitalizing a 5-mile stretch from Capitol Heights to Largo. And I remind you, from Capitol Heights to Largo, a lot of forgotten communities that we have in our District 25 and District 24 communities. But with projects that include a youth sports field and house, a new central library, a cultural center, and an arts entertainment amphitheater, and pedestrian and bike-friendly infrastructure, these aren't just buildings. These are investments in people and neighborhoods and the community that adds to our economic future of the county. We've seen how transformative this kind of focused investment can be. If you just look across the border at Washington, D.C.'s Green Line corridor, that development created thriving neighborhoods, brought in new businesses, spurred economic growth, and redefined what's possible in long overlooked areas. And it's now our turn right here in Prince George's County. Maryland's Blue Line corridor will be even better because we're learning from that model and building on what is now known to be a great opportunity for our economic region. It brings in equity and scale. And with this $400 million in bonds approved by the Maryland Board of Public Works and supported through the Maryland Stadium Authority, we're laying the foundation for something truly extraordinary. And I'm especially proud to have worked alongside my colleagues in the state to secure the necessary support for these endeavors, working to deliver the $400 million in bonds. This is about turning long-standing disinvestment into lasting opportunities. It's about making sure our residents aren't watching revitalization happen elsewhere. They're living it, they're owning it, and they're leading right here at home. I want to thank former District 25 members and current District 25 members, Melanie Griffith, Daryl Barnes, Derek Davis, Karen Toes, Denise Roberts, and Kent Roberson, because without our District 25 team, without our District 24 team, this would not be possible. But I also like to give a shout out to our great members on the Maryland Stadium Authority Board, Ms. Minerva Riddick and Ms. Artis Hampshire Cowan, for their investment in what's happening right here in our community. And I'd like to thank our county executive and our former county executive, Senator Ossel Brooks, who has been a phenomenal leader in making this happen. We truly appreciate you, and we know that we'll get a lot more help now that you're in that Senate seat. So I'm looking forward to all of the great things that are coming here, and I'd like to thank everyone else who helped make this day a reality. The Blue Line Corridor is on the move, and Prince George's County is leading the way. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Senator Charles. Delegate Lewis, Jazz Lewis from District 24.
Thank you. It's a good morning, y'all. I want to start by saying it's such an honor to be here. This is the community that I grew up in, and often you don't see the type of transformative change in the community that you grew up in every neighborhood in communities like ours. But fortunately, we are seeing it today. I want to give a special thank you to the Speaker of the House, Adrienne Jones. She has been a transformative partner for Prince George's County in being committed to this idea of the Blue Line Corridor for the $400 million and the plus added that we've added. We're actually close to $600 million at this point, but don't tell anybody. I don't want them to come take our money. The Civic Plaza arrives at the right time for a community that has waited long enough. It is the first project that we are groundbreaking on at the end of the Blue Line Corridor, but it's just the start. What folks will see as we continue are As was mentioned, Civic Plaza, beyond the Civic Plaza, a library, a theater. But we also in the private sector have supported a number of housing projects that are coming on from Capitol Heights Metro Station to Addison Road Metro Station. We're going to be continuing to compete for the commanders along the Blue Line corridor, and that is going forward. I also want to finish in saying that, because most of my colleagues thanked everyone, I really want to thank our United States Senator, Angela Alsobrooks. We had a partner who was right on time. Many of you all know who served in government. You know, it's not just about having people in place. It's about having people in place who have a vision. And she says it all the time. We have been able to go a lot further because she worked collaboratively with me, with Chair Ben Barnes, with former Chair Melanie Griffith, with Wes Moore, our entire leadership team. I want to thank everyone at Park and Planning. I want to thank Angie Rogers and her economic development team. I want to thank the County Council as these projects continue to move over to you all for approval of zoning and whatnot. And I know you all are eager to see each of these projects along your districts in the Blue Line corridor. And I just want to thank the citizens of Prince George's County for giving us this honor to represent them. And hopefully this is one example of the return on investment from the leadership you have in place today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Delegate Lewis. And County Council Member Walla Blagay from District 6.
Thank you so much. I would like to call our Vice Chair and Chair, our new Chair, Ed Burrows, come on up, and Vice Chair Crystal Rieta, come on up here with me. This is a glorious day, talking about placemaking and bringing quality retail, quality development into our county. I know everyone has thanked everyone, but one of the people that I want to make sure are thanked is the community. I would like the Largo Civic Association to stand up. Chuck Reniger, can you stand up here? Chuck has been fighting for quality development in Largo for decades. And he has worked with multiple council members, multiple county executives to do it. And with his leadership coming to the table, he was part of the group that came talking about concept plans at the Civic Plaza, all of those. Thank you, Chuck, for your work. Randy Atchison, I would like you to stand up. Randy has been a big, big part of making sure that we activate this. If you saw Love My Largo, that farmer's market that was here this weekend, it was part of his leadership and the group that came with him to make sure that we could bring things that we could enjoy here. In fact, 2 years ago, when we talked about, using this area already, we had a great event here, up and down here. Residents were able to come down and actually take advantage of food, art, all of those things. We not only are elected officials working, not only is Park and Planning and all of our agencies working, the best part of this story is the community. The community is hand in hand with us in every way, making sure that we can do this. And I also want to give a shout out to my staff. She's my deputy chief, Ayanna Crawford, who is part of the Largo Civic Association. And we're looking at putting together something in the fall. But the point is the community is here engaging a part of this. And this is historic because 20, 30 years from now, we're going to have individuals that said, we remember where this started. So thank all the stakeholders for making this happen. And hand in hand with the community, this will be a full success. Thank you.
I'll just add from the chair and myself, when we talk about the vision of our county and getting us to these places, it's a relay race when it comes to elected leaders. We're handing off the vision from one leader to the next. So I'd be remiss if I didn't say for District 7, I have two dynamic women that have served on the county council here today, Camille Exum and Karen Tolles. And so it wouldn't be for their leadership for me to see visions of development coming inside of the Beltway. The same for our county executive, our senator, also Brooks, and our acting county executive, Tara Jackson. And what I hope to see when we pass the baton to who I hope to see, Aisha Bravo, our next county executive, what I know is that we can trust the vision to keep on going here in Prince George's County and for us to see the growth that we deserve. So I just want to thank every leader for handing the baton to the next one and allowing us to get here today to break ground on what I think will be an amazing start to developing the Blue Line Corridor. So thank you.
1, 2, 3. Toss.
Wait a minute.
That's what the guy did. Y'all ready? 1, lift. Sorry.
Don't hit them, y'all.
And toss. Good job. Good job.
I'm sorry.